Hello, my name is Mike, and I had previously posted a video on YouTube about a fossil I discovered. I named the fossil the TheOtiswood pit viper fossil. I'd like to discuss the fossil from a little different light this time. I'll start by saying that I believe in creation. I don't know how or when animals became mineralized, but there they are, right? The chronology of the fossil from after I found it, I found the pieces over a period of several months. The first day that I found a piece, I found the head piece, the piece I like to call the head, and it's right here. Looks like you can see the two eyes right there, and all the pieces that I found so far were in a 20-foot radius, and so I started taking a couple of the first few pieces I found, some paleontologists and different scientists, and I got several different ideas of what they might be, and I kind of made a list of them. The first one, a paleontologist said it was a sedimentary formation. Paleontologist said it was a coral, you know, like the ones in Florida. One of them said it was a silicate formation, and I know some of these kind of overlap a bit. And one of them said it was a sponge. One said it was a limestone accretion. One said it was brachiopods. A geologist said that it was a quartz formation. Another paleontologist said it was travertine. Another said gunflint chert. Another one said it was just a pretty stone or a geode. Another paleontologist said it was a precipitate of an upper layer. And once again, I know that some of these do overlap a bit. And I appreciate what the professionals said. I did some research after each of them told me what they thought it was. Another one said it was a calcite formation. One said it was flowstone. One said it was a cave-like stalagmite or a stalactite. One said it was a stromatolite. And there was a few others, to be sure. I didn't write them all down, but so that's around 14 that each of them thought it was something quite different, actually. But once again, I did a lot of research, and I can understand why some of them said the things they did, because it does have some characteristics of some of these things, but basically the looks of it, not when you look at it microscopically and in the light of the anatomy that I'll go into a little bit later. But then I also have a few. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that say something quite different. I have a geologist that said it's definitely something organic, you know, like a tree or some kind of animal of some kind. There's a paleontologist that was also a math major that said it's definitely a creature of some time. And this same lady said that the odds of there being this many points of anatomy in their correct position would be exponentially impossible to be. So you know, if it was 1 or 2 or even 11 or 12, but I've counted a couple dozen points of anatomy in their correct position to be a pit viper snake. Another geologist said it's not supposed to be there because I found it in upstate New York in a Devonian layer. But he said there's a possibility that maybe the Mississippian had cracked open years ago, and it fell down into the Devonian, and then that's where it stayed all that time. And he said yes, it he believes that it's a snake. And I talked to a biologist, and he said, and showed him the CAT scan. In fact, I showed all these the CAT scan. I'll go into that a bit later also. And the biologist said it's definitely some kind of animal. And then I talked to a leading herpetologist when I first found it, and he said that it's exactly what I'm saying that it is. And but I've since lost touch with him. It doesn't appear he wants to be involved, but maybe at a later date he will. And so that's a list of what some professional people think that it is, and so what I did after that is sometime in the interim I took it to a chiropractor that I know, and he took a couple conventional x-rays for me, and it showed a midline and bilateral evidence. And I showed that to a team of veterinaries, and it was convincing enough that they did a CAT scan for me. And so I wanted to post a couple of the stills of the CAT scan. I have 178 slides of it, sections, but as of yet I haven't discovered how to do that, to get it from one part of the computer to the other, but I'm going to put it on there. All right, and once again, I already said, now there's not just one or two or even several points of anatomy in their correct position, but a couple dozen to indicate that this is a pit viper snake. And now I don't want to mislead people, but you know, is this a giant snake, or is it an elaborate geological trick? You know, I guess it could be either. And I think I'd like to show a couple of the parts by picking them up. Once again, I believe this is the head, and I believe these are the eyes, and this is the nose. This side has apparently been torn away, and this side of the face seems to be intact. Now this represents the skull and the maxilla. I'll turn it up. I believe that this is the roof of the mouth in here, and right here, and it's hard to see on the webcam, but this appears to be a retractable tooth, or the base of it. Now this piece, when I found it, maybe a month after I found the head, I kept looking at it saying, well, where could this piece go, because it appears to have this same material on the top and the bottom. It goes all the way around it, and one day I just kind of held it here, and it fits perfectly and articulates perfectly with the upper part of the skull. I believe this is the first 3 inches of the lower jaw, and it fits perfectly in a couple different places, and there it is, and it does fit really well. And then this piece is a little bitty piece, and once again I talked about the CAT scan. This piece has a structure that runs all the way through it, that the skull, in an exact measurement from the midline, that shows up at the exit of the part of the back of the skull here. And this piece actually fit in this cavity, and you can take the piece and roll it, and it fits right exactly on here, and it just apparently had gotten smushed out of there when it was still soft, and then mineralized right here, and then some later time broke away, and I found it once again just within a few feet of the piece that I call the head. once again, I have a CAT scan, and there is a midline in here, and I believe that the head got smashed, and even the CAT scan indicates that when you see the whole CAT scan. And once again, this piece has a structure running through it that in the CAT scan shows up at the same spot across the 90-degree angle of the head. Now, I believe that this is like the atlas bone of the skull, and this area right here was a bony prominence that the bone articulated with the lower jaw. And I think this is a facial bone, and this whole elevation here, you can see what appears to be the skull all the way around till you get to this side, and then this seems to be scales, which it looks like there's scales on the top of the head. And I'm just convinced myself that it's a giant snake, but this piece here has material that is similar to what I believe is the skin and scales on a couple of the other pieces I have, several pieces, but it's I believe that this is part of the body. Farther back, it's 15 inches at the widest point and a little over 15 inches the other way, and I have a CAT scan of this also. And once again, I will figure out how to post some slices of the CAT scan on YouTube. And I have a smaller piece that I believe is part of the body, and I believe it got tore away during a struggle, and it got pressed in the mud like this. I believe that these areas are the large scales on the bottom of a snake, and this one's tipped up, and this one's tipped, and this one's squished flat, but I believe his guts got smushed out between them. And I believe this is a frog right here. Several people have said they believe it is too. And you can see what appears to be his guts back here. And I mean, I've looked at it for hundreds of hours, and I know there's only so many minutes on a video, so I'll try to get some more comprehensive information together and post another video at another time. Thank you very much.